The Link Show is just about to start. If you want to be a part of The Link Show, head over to linkkids.com.au/live.
Today on The Link Show, we are continuing with our series, Fear Fighters, Fighting Fear with Faith.
And we're linking in with kids all around the world from churches and schools.
That's right, plus I've got another very special friend coming again! Because we're going to face our big
Buckle!
all that and more coming up today. Let's get linked! Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of The Link Show. It's fun being on the couches, doing it a little bit.
I'm comfy.
I know, and it's fun when we can sit with our friends.
No.
Last week, CC sat with our friend on the couch. What was the? Do we remember?
Danny.
Danny, that's right.
Danny the lizard.
Danny the
lizard.
blue tongue lizard. I get
Such
blue
tongue.
tongue when you eat the. Is it warheads? The ones that make you.
blue
the
Super-Dupers?
sour.
Blue super duper sour strap.
Sour strap.
Yeah, snap. Actually, that's interesting. Send us a shout out for later on. What is your favorite tongue color changing food? Thing that changes.
What changes your tongue
Yeah,
colour?
food dye doesn't count. What food
No.
change? Yeah, it's all good. But hey, today we're talking about fighting fear, which is a bit weird, right?
Yeah.
Have you ever thought of that idea of how do you fight fear?
Yeah, no, because it's not like a physical thing with, like, don't punch it.
Yeah, you're not fighting someone.
No.
No.
Not
So-
that we encourage punching.
No, it's true. We don't want to punch people. But what we do need to do is Miguel and Cece, like I
No.
said, we're not taking turns. We're spinning
not.
the
spinning.
wheel of
I'm not
faces.
okay.
I am
Okay.
okay.
I'm feeling
Why is
good.
your face not on this buckle?
Because I will hold them all. I've already overcome my fear. Let's spin the wheel of faces. Here we go.
Get it over
I think I
with.
bumped it. Let's have a look. So it was Cece last week.
Oh.
Here's it going to be.
Well, he's gonna be CC again.
Is it gonna be
No,
Cece
Miguel,
again?
Miguel.
Hold a snake, CC.
Yes.
Hold on.
Wait. It's on CC now.
Oh, that was legit.
No way.
Oh. At least they know now when it's not rigged. Because we
It's
got
not
heaps
rigged.
of shout outs there. It's like, Miguel was rigged for
It's
which way
not.
it's live.
It's not. Sorry.
Well, elements are scripted, but the Wheel of Faces isn't. So, Miguel, you're going to be facing fears in a sec. Cece, can you head off and
Yeah,
go get the shout outs
I'm sold
ready?
out, bye.
She's gone. Miguel, how are you feeling?
You know what? I'm ready.
You ready?
I'm ready, but I'm not.
You know, there's like thousands of kids who are watching this. You got to set a good example.
I don't know, Buckle. I'm ready to overcome my fear, actually.
Okay, he's ready to overcome
I'm
his
ready
fear.
to overcome my fear.
Okay, well,
Hopefully, it's not a snake.
right, okay, interesting.
That is the one animal I feel like
Can't do it.
I will not touch.
All right, well, like I said, I have no idea. I just called up a reptile place and I was like, hey, bring me some animals. So we're going to see what happens. But hey, while we get our friend here and I'm going to go get ready to continue our series called Fear Fighters, why don't we jump over to Cece and let's read some of your shout-outs.
Let's read some of those shout-outs. Elsie says, please say that Mrs. Walker is the best because she is so amazing and I love the Link Show. Keep making videos. That's so awesome, Elsie. We love our teachers. And Abigail says, hi Buckle, Cece and Miguel. The Link crew rocks. I hope the food combinations aren't that bad, but here's one, chili and Nutella. Ooh, I think I would actually do that one. Also, we want to say a massive hello to the kids at Twin Rivers Church. It is so amazing to have you here on The Link Show with us. Remember, to hear the rest of your shout-outs, head over to the Link Crew YouTube channel where you can watch this week's episode of The Link Crew and you. But for now, let's go see what Buckle is up to.
Okay, here's the thing. I had times in my life where I knew the right thing to do, but speaking up about it or standing up for the right thing was really difficult, mainly because I was afraid or had fear of what would happen to me or what people would say about me. I had one time where I had grown up going to a Christian school from like grade 1, grade 2, grade 3, all the way through, but our family was moving cities. We moved from one city to another, and in the middle of the transition, we actually lived with my grandparents for a couple of months while we figured out where we were going to live. Now, because of that, I had to go to a different school for a little while, and although I'd always been going to a Christian school where I was surrounded by other students and friends who were Christian, I had teachers that were Christian, My entire world were other people that loved Jesus. For these couple of months, I had to go to a different school that was not a Christian school. I can remember on my very first day as a primary school student walking into this new class, not knowing anybody, being afraid because I didn't know what it was like to go to a non-Christian school, and all of a sudden having all of these kids around me, and one of the first questions they actually asked was, "What do you like? What sports do you play? Are you a Christian?" And in my head, I'm like, why are you asking me that straight away? I don't understand. And I got really scared about giving an answer. And so I was like, I am. My parents go to church. And so I started watering down what I believed. I didn't just stand firm and say, you know what? Yes, I do believe in God. I am a Christian. I sort of downplayed it a bit because I was so worried about them maybe not wanting to be my friend and me being in this new environment where I didn't know what it was going to be like to be a Christian, because I'd always been in places where other people would support me. All of a sudden, I felt like I was out on my own. You see, in that moment, I felt isolated. I felt like, how am I meant to do this without help? And I remember going home and sitting down with my dad and saying, "Dad, they asked me if I was a Christian." And he asked, "Well, what did you say?" And I told him I felt really afraid. I didn't know what the right answer was. And so I said that I sort of was, and that we went to church, but I didn't tell them that you were a pastor because I was too afraid of what they might say. And so as I spoke with my dad, the thing he told me that really stuck with me was that although I was at this school alone, I wasn't actually alone. That although I couldn't see it, Jesus was right there with me the whole time. You see, when you face moments when you have to stand up for what's right and there's no one else around, it can be really daunting, really scary to say the truth and to say what you truly believe because you feel like you're doing it alone. You see, a little later on, we're going to take a look at a Bible story of 3 guys who were in a situation where if they stood up for what was right, not only could they get in a lot of trouble, they may actually even lose their lives doing it. But they had faith. And so we're going to take a look at that story, and we're also going to take a look at how we can have the faith and courage to overcome our fears and do what's right. But we'll talk about that in just a minute. We are back again with week 2, and SJ is back from True Blue Reptiles with another very special friend. And this week, Miguel was the unfortunate face, or fortunate face, depending on whether this was a scary animal or not.
We'll have to find out.
How you feeling, Miguel? Are you okay?
Oh, my heart is beating out of my chest.
Is there anything that like last week, Cece mentioned that she didn't want to do a snake? Is there anything that you're just like, yeah, nah, I can't do it?
I might go the same route.
Snake?
Snake.
What if it was a little snake? You'd be fine.
Oh yeah, if it was a little baby snake. Yeah.
What if it wasn't a little snake?
Oh well, we'll have to find out.
Well, we're gonna find out. I don't know what's in this bag, but SJ, welcome back again. Thanks for coming back for another week of the Link Show. How you feeling? Did you enjoy last week?
Yeah, that was lots of fun. Thanks
Danny
for
was
having me.
very, very cute. I think I want to get a Danny for myself. But right now, I believe you brought another special friend to introduce to us.
I did. I have
Oh, Lord.
Angelina.
Angelina. No, you know, it sounds pretty.
It's a beautiful
Sounds
name.
pretty.
There's nothing scary about
I don't know.
Angelina.
Yeah, Angelina.
Your face says it all right now, Miguel. It makes me so
I'm
happy.
so nervous, Buckle. I'm so
Well, here's
nervous.
the thing, right? If we go back to Which Way Is Wise, and the kids were like sending messages saying,
Oh my.
that was totally scripted. It wasn't.
It was
Miguel
not
legitimately
scripted.
was that bad.
I was trying so hard.
If your track record's that bad, I feel like you might be on a bit of a downhill right now as well.
I just hope this is not the same. I don't know. We'll have to find out.
Let's find out.
Oh!
This is
Is that-
Angelina.
it's a snake!
Nope.
What do you reckon, Cece? You're gonna come over and say, whoa!
Absolutely
What
not.
is going
No.
on?
Miguel,
When I was talking to SJ on the phone, she was like, oh, we've got some nice snakes. In my mind, I'm like, this big. That is, oh, well, no, I don't have words. Okay. Miguel, there's a wall there. Miguel can't get away. What sort of snake is this? This is amazing.
Angelina is a water python.
Water python. Mm-hmm. How long is Angelina?
She's close to 2.5 meters.
Oh my god.
Yes!
So she's quite long.
Taller than me.
She's
Yeah, Miguel's only about a meter. He's little.
Yeah.
That's why we sit down.
I'm 5'8".
she's not a local snake. So she's from the tropics. So they spend a lot of time in the water.
That makes sense. Water python.
Yes.
See, Cece, you sure you don't want to come over?
I am so good back here.
Okay.
Cece!
So can Miguel hold Angelina? Is that something we can do?
Can Miguel not?
Yes.
Miguel was hoping you was going to say, no, we're not allowed to let him hold him.
Yeah.
So how do we do this? Miguel's overcoming his fears?
Yeah, so she's sort of in charge.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we just support her, and as you can see, she's quite a busy snake, so she'll be moving. You'll be able to feel her amazing muscles. Aren't you
great.
excited?
You wish you had muscles,
Oh.
Miguel. It nearly kissed you. Angelina wanted a kiss. How you feeling there, bro?
Oh, bro, it's coming up. No.
You okay there, bro?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a nice necklace.
Do I just let it go?
Yeah.
Oh, he's
Can you
literally
see his hand
shaking.
shaking?
He's literally shaking.
Wait, Cece, come look at this.
Dude,
How
that.
do you feel?
I feel like it's giving me a nice hug.
She's coming for a kiss.
Oh no, please don't.
Miguel, do you feel like you overcame your fear today? You're still
Yes.
shaking.
Let's see your hand.
No,
Well done.
no, Jay.
We're good, we're right.
So proud of you for doing your best. Holding Angelina, if this is only week 2, you've got at least one more,
Oh.
depending on what the wheel
Let's
says.
just hope Cece gets the rest.
That's a good call.
Just hope
Let's
Cece gets the rest of the fear factors.
As long as it's not another snake.
But hey, we're going to say goodbye to Angelina, and while we do that, why don't you go check out today's animated Bible story? Say hello to 3 friends of ours, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Those are some pretty strange names, but those were the names they were given because the Israelites had been captured by the Babylonians, and some of the men had been taken away to serve in the king's house, and so they were given Babylonian names. Now there was a king in Babylon called King Nebuchadnezzar, and he'd built a giant gold statue and made a rule that any time that the musicians played, everybody in the area had to bow down and worship the statue. And if you didn't do it, you would be thrown into a fiery furnace. So sure enough, the music started playing. And one of the advisors came to the king and said, "King, everybody is bowing down except for these 3 Israelite men." The king got angry and said, "Bring them before me." And so Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego were brought before the king. The king said, "Why are you not bowing down and worshipping the statue?" But the Bible says that we shouldn't worship any other god except for God himself. And so the men replied to the king, "O king, if we are thrown into the fire, our God who we serve will be able to save us from it. But even if he doesn't, we want you to know that we will not serve your gods or worship these objects of gold that you had set up." The king got so angry that he told his men to make the fire in the fiery furnace 7 times hotter. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego were bound, and the guards took them and threw them in the fire. But after a moment, the king stood up surprised and said, "Didn't we just throw 3 men into the fire?" His servants replied, "Yes, king, that's true." But the king said, "Look, there are 4 men loose in the fire walking around. The fire isn't hurting them. And the 4th one looks like a son of the gods." King Nebuchadnezzar called out to the men, "Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego, come out." And so the men came out, and not a single hair on their head was burnt, and they didn't even smell like smoke. Okay, so here's the thing about this story. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. You don't have to remember the names. They're big, although they might be in the Bible quiz later. We'll see. But they're in this moment where the 3 of them are on their own. They're surrounded by everybody else who is doing the wrong thing. They've done what the king has said. But the Bible is very clear. We don't worship false gods or false idols. We only worship God. And so they know that if they disobey the king, but do what they know is the right thing to do, they could get in a lot of trouble. And so they do it. They overcome their fear and they say, "We're so sorry, king. But the God we serve, it's very clear that we only worship him." Obviously, the king gets angry. You saw the story. They get thrown into the fiery furnace. But I love in this moment that something happens. The thing that they knew the whole time everyone else is able to see that it wasn't just the three of them alone. There was someone else with them. And so the king stands up and he says, wait, didn't we throw 3 people into the fiery furnace? Why are there 4? You see, Jesus was there with them the whole time. And he's with you and me the whole time as well. You see, when Jesus was here on earth and he had his disciples, there was actually a moment where he sent his disciples out to go continue the ministry, to go tell other people about him. And he actually says in Matthew, when he's saying it to them, look, you're going to go into places and there will be people that listen to what you say and they'll make a decision to follow God. But there'll be people that hate you because you're a Christian. There'll be people that despise you. There'll be people that even hurt you because you're a Christian. But stay strong. You're not alone. I'm with you always. And you see, the Bible even says for you and me that you are not alone, that Jesus will be with us always. And so when you're at school, when you're at sport, when you're at dance, whatever it is you're doing and you're surrounded by people that maybe don't know about the love of God and you're afraid to stand up for what's right, I want you to remember this. You are not alone and that God will always back you. He will always support you to help save your world. And so this is what we're going to remember today in this Fear Fighters series, that when we overcome our fear, we're able to then speak the love of Jesus into our friends and into our family and into the people around us. Because like we said before, God will back you to save your world. But hey, I'm going to head back to the couch because we need to recap so that you're ready to do the Bible quiz. Oh, that was so much fun. It's good to be back. Wait, what is...
Why is it here?
I feel like the snake left a present.
Oh, that's actually really, really cool. But hey, we need to recap so that everyone is prepared to do the quiz later on. So what happened today?
Well, today we continue our series called Fear Fighters, Fighting Fear with Faith.
And today Miguel had told the snake, not me, thank goodness.
And also the Bible story was about Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego and how they faced their fear.
That's right. And so hopefully you were paying attention to all the nuancy things. Those of you that have been doing the quiz will have noticed that I've thrown in some extra random questions. So one of them this week might be, what was the name of the animal that we held? So you got to be paying attention to the nuancy bits as well. But hey, like we mentioned the other week, if you want to send in shout outs, we do a full other video over on a link for a YouTube channel. Looks like this. And we just read your shout outs. We've got some other bonus materials coming along as well. But hey, thanks so much for hanging out with us today on The Link Show. My name is Buckle.
My name's Miguel.
And I'm Cece.
And we'll see you next week on
The Link Show.